Hi, thank you for joining me. I'm Teresa Crawley at Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick, Colorado. Today I'm going to be showing you a brand new 2023 Newmar Kountry Star. This is the floor plan 3717. So that means that this coach comes in at 37 feet, 10 inches long. We have a 360 horsepower Cummins engine and built on a Freightliner chassis. We've added some really nice amenities to this diesel pusher, including a central vacuum, a continuous or tankless hot water heater. We have extra batteries, residential refrigerator. We have a Wi-Fi Denali and a Winegard RTT20B in-motion satellite. We also added Nav and Go navigation, Excite radio, theater seating, and transfer switch with surge protector. We tend to put a lot of amenities on our pre-ordered coaches just because we know that's how our customers like them. If you have any questions about what we did more specifically as to colors or anything like that, I'm more than happy to share them with you. But most of all, I want you to see, do you like this floor plan? Do you think you could use it and it would be a livable situation for you? In the Newmar lineup, this is the least expensive diesel pusher, but a lot of people get that confused with quality. Newmar builds all of these with the same amount of quality, the same R rating of insulation. They also have the Star Foundation underneath to keep it from bending and twisting going down the road, which is going to save your cabinets from squeaking in a year, your tiles from popping, etc. It just makes for a smoother ride as well. And it'll keep your slides intact through the years. So quality is not an issue on a Newmar coach, no matter which one you're buying. The Kountry Star all the way to the King Air are built by the same people. So they go along the same lines. This coach in particular, we have opted in the theater seating here in this living area. These are super comfy. And of course, seated right across from your television. You may see there's no television here, and that's because it's on a lift. So when I push a button, that TV lift's going to pop up. And that's such a great thing because sometimes you want to see all that beautiful sunlight or the view outside that window. And I have to say, they really did a great job on the windows in this coach. It's so light and bright in here. In the theater seating, when you do opt this in, you get a very, very deep storage place right here. And then you have this little drawer that moves back and forth. So if you wanted to set your remotes in there and not have a messy living area or have things sliding around when you're driving, they did a great job with that. These, of course, are going to be recliners, and they are powered. So really, really nice seating place. And they made sure that you had a place for your guests to sleep opposite, but I could probably sleep right here if you made me. Don't tell my boss. Of course, in all of our diesel pushers, the driver and passenger seats will also turn around. So that is going to make more of a seating area when you have guests with you. Over here, we have chosen to have a booth dinette. And somewhat unusual in a Newmar, we don't have a lot of these, but this does become a bed. So the way that works, there's a lever under here and there's a little lock that's the lever. And you just have to unlock it correctly and then push it down. Let's see if I can get it to go today. It's actually really easy when you get it in the right position. And I don't have it in the right position. So there we go. So this is going to start going down, and then there's a pad that covers this area, and that will make an extra sleeping area for when you have a guest, probably someone on the little bit shorter side, but still a guest nonetheless. Directly opposite, this is something I love about this floor plan, is that we have this counter that is out over where your guests would be. So say I have to wash dishes or get ready for a meal, I'm starting to prep. I can still visit with my guests. I can still see the TV, and I can be a part of what's going on. I don't have to be relegated to the kitchen area. Then, of course, we have storage all around. I'll just show you real quick because we all know what storage is, but it's super important in a motorhome to know how much you're getting, especially if you're going to be living in it or spending a lot of time in it. Nice full extension drawers. And this one down here would be a great place for cookie sheets and things like that. And then under the sink storage as well. So another great thing about this is where your slide out is here. This whole wall is on a slide. So when this comes in, it's only going to come to about here. So you're still going to be able to use this sink even when you're in travel mode. And I'll show you travel mode a little bit later so you can see how much walking room you'll have going through the coach. But it's just nice to know that you're still going to have a full sink available for that. This whole side will be open for you. And of course, we've got a little sprayer on here and really beautiful stainless steel faucet. Now, this coach does have propane, and some of you prefer to cook on a gas cooktop. This is exactly what you're going to get. 3 burners here. No oven here because we're going to use that for more storage space. So more full extension cabinet drawers. And just one more. Oops. Full extension when it doesn't run into your leg, I suppose. And then we have, of course, a Whirlpool convection microwave oven. So this is going to be able to be used as an oven as well. It is a convection, so it can bake in here. This does lift out so you can put a little bit taller things in here. But you can even bake cookies or crisp a pizza crust in there. They work really well. We have a fantastic vent right overhead in case you need to get rid of any smoke or smells out of this area. And then over here, a Whirlpool refrigerator. This is a residential refrigerator. It does not run on propane, for those of you who are wondering. We do have water in the door here, and then a filter in this as well. And then here is your freezer with ice maker. So lots of space in here. And more importantly than that, I think, is this lock, so that when you are traveling down the road, these can't fly open on you. Hate to have your milk all over the floor. Little secret compartment up there. I would think that would be more flat baking sheet type things, but you can use your own imagination there. Another one here. And then a really good sized pantry. Look at all that. I could put so many cereal boxes in there. And over here as well for some of your taller items. Now, this is a mid-bath coach, meaning there's only one bathroom and it's in the middle of the coach. A lot of times you'll see a bath and a half, and that's because you can't get to the back bathroom, the big one, when you're in travel mode. So this one you can get to either way. It's one less bathroom to clean, and it saves a ton of space to make this a much shorter coach. But you still get a really good sized shower in here. We've also opted in an emergency exit door. Just in case there were any emergency, that's a very easy door to get out of. It has a drop-down ladder. And then, of course, a good-sized medicine cabinet and more storage. Now, I did mention earlier this has a tankless water heater. That is the Truma AquaGo system that we added to this. So that's going to mean as much water as you have, it can be hot. And that's really going to come in handy, especially when you are plugged in at a park with a water source hooked up. It's nice anyway, though, because it's a lot more fast than, say, a 6-gallon or 10-gallon water heater would be. So this is something that Newmar has added fairly recently, and it's a centralized panel to do a lot of different things. I'll show you. So you do have auto gen start on this coach. You can set it up for timing for the demand, meaning the air conditioner needs to go on and there's not enough power for that, or your house battery is getting low, your chassis battery is getting low, etc. So you can set that all up according to your needs, like, oh, we're going to be leaving the dog, so we better set it so if the air conditioner needs to come on because it's getting too warm for puppy, then that can do that for you and you don't have to worry while you're gone. Here is your heating and air conditioning, this that you can set that there, and then lights for the whole coach here. So we can go through room by room, and we can choose which ones we want on and which ones we don't want on. So reading lights, accent lights, ceiling lights, etc. Just really nice to have this centralized panel here. And then down here, we do have another set of lights. These are spread throughout the coach here and there, just for convenience sake, because they're not going to put these big panels everywhere. It would be a mess, actually. So we also have those there. Right below me, we do have a central vacuum system. So this is where you would put your hose to do more of a traditional vacuuming. And then, of course, we have a kick plate here on the other side. So if you were to sweep here, that will just suck away whatever debris that you have there. Down here, if you notice these little silver things, these are actually, they're lights for kind of a nighttime light. So you do have that in here as well, and you can leave those on all the time. I always think if you have puppies or if you have to get up a lot at night, those are really great to have because they don't brighten up the whole coach, but little night lights everywhere. Back here, master bedroom. I'll show you, we do have a really great door to close this area off that locks. So just so you know, you do have privacy here if you have guests. That locks into place. This is a king size bed as well. So you're not going to have to skimp on your sleeping comfort, even though this is a shorter coach. Under this bed, we do have some storage. And I love that they put the bed on these shocks. It makes it just so much easier on your back to lift this up and to put it down, actually. So I'm going to just put this down for you and you'll see it's so easy. Then on either side of the bed, we have small nightstands with USB ports and 110, and a little bit of storage down below there as well. Now up above here, we of course have storage, and it goes all the way through. There are no dividers up here, so you can put some bulkier items up here. Another thing that Newmar does is they put 110 outlets up in this cabinet so that if you had, say, a sleep apnea machine or an alarm clock or something like that that you needed, you could put that up here. There is also a place for the hoses for a sleep apnea machine to come through here, or any cords that you may have going on. So on either side of the bed you have those, as well as reading lights up there as well. Another thing I wanted to point out is on either side of the bed you have a window that does open. And that seems like a silly thing to say if you don't know. Other coaches don't have that. So it's really nice to get a little fresh air and a cross breeze sometimes. This gives you that option. And I'm not saying none of them have it. I'm just saying it's something that you have to check for because a lot of them don't. So it's really nice that we have that available, plus a little sunlight. It's so bright in this coach. I think that has partly to do with the coloring we chose, the white cabinetry, but also there's a lot of windows in here. Back here, this is obviously going to be your wardrobe. And maybe I'll show you this side first, actually, because it's about more of a shirt hanging area. And this piece here is what goes on that table to make it into a bed that I was explaining earlier. So that's the extra cushion. But yes, you have some hanging here. You do have a light in here. And if I open it to the other side, you can see you do have full hanging space here. And this also has a lock for when it's not being used. So that you can put down that little lock there, and it'll keep your closet doors from banging around. We also optioned in a washer and dryer. What a luxury to have in a motorhome, right? Then, of course, we have another Samsung flat screen TV, a place to put your components. And the reason this is glass rather than wood is so that your remote control can get that signal through there. So you could put a DVD player or whatever it is, a Wally up there. Then we just have some more storage. Never get tired of talking about storage because it's always at a premium in a motorhome. So we have 1, 2, 3 of these across that are just the same. And then above we have these that are shorter but much deeper. So that goes all the way to there on my arm. And we have 2 of those side by side. And then a little bit more storage here as well. So I'm going to start putting slides in so we can see the usage while slides are in, and then we can go over the dash area. So you'll start to hear those gears going. For those of you who don't know, Newmar was the first to put slide outs in a motorhome, and they are still using the same cogwheel system because it's very, very reliable and very stout. I like to do one at a time just so I can keep an eye on if anything is in the way of the slide out. Also to not drain the power too quickly and overwhelm the system. And we do have 4 slide outs in this coach. Now you can see when that slide is in, when both of these slides are in, the end of the bed touches the dresser. So you can still get up here and take a nap if you needed to. There are places that you just can't put a slide out. I've had this situation happen at a rest stop, for example, where there were too many people parked next to me. So I had to leave slides in, but I was very able to take a nap at that place. So it's important to think about those things if you're going to be spending a lot of time here. What if I can't put the slides out? Now I'm going to put these in. So we've got our living room area coming in. Doesn't take long at all. You may have also noticed as we were walking through the coach, or you may not have, that there are not plastic vents all over the ceiling. Like pretty much every other brand has little round vents all over the ceiling, and that of course is the air conditioning system. Newmar has eliminated that by putting a wood facade over the air conditioning system. So the pretty swirls on the ceiling with the lights behind them, that's actually your intake and your output for your air conditioner. It gives a much cleaner appearance, a much more residential look to the coach. And there we are, all the way in. I'm going to walk through just so you can see how much space there is. I'm also going to put the televator down because I love the light. So that'll go while I'm going back. But you see there's plenty of room to get back to this kitchen area. I can do the dishes if I wanted to. I could even cook, make a sandwich, get into the refrigerator, get myself a drink, and actually get into the bathroom. So that's why this door is funny. Some people say, this is a funny door. Well, it does. It goes in the middle rather than opening full out. You might be able to see that pivot there so that you can get into it easier when the slides are in. Pretty clever. All right. Now I'll show you some of the amenities in the cab. We do have powered driver and passenger seats, so you can get this to a really comfortable position. For those of you who are shorter like me, this can go right up and then tilt down even. And then there is a pedal over here on the left, a lot of people don't know about, that will adjust your steering wheel height and make it come in or out for you. So closer or further from you to make it more comfortable of a drive. All right. So one of the most wonderful things about a diesel pusher is that the engine is in the back of the coach. And what that means is you're not hearing a really loud engine underneath you while you're driving. So you can have a very comfortable volume conversation while you're sitting here with your passenger. You can also hear music that's on this awesome JBL sound system up here. It's just a very comfortable drive. But one of the other things that Newmar does is they add a comfort drive steering. If you don't know what that is, it is meant to keep you straight on the road, meaning if it's windy or if there are divots in the road that are pulling you around, you won't have to fight those. After about 15 seconds, the system takes over for you. And what that translates to is at the end of the day, you're not exhausted and your shoulders aren't tense from being fighting all day long. So it's really a wonderful thing. One of those things that I can tell you about it all day, but you really need to try it out. It makes a huge difference. When we get another brand of coach in that doesn't have the comfort drive steering, it is night and day, and you can tell immediately when you have comfort drive steering on. So some great things about this Freightliner system. One is that they've moved the transmission to the steering column right here. So you don't have to look away from the road to change gears or to put it in park or reverse. It's actually right here on this toggle switch right here. So again, very, very safe to have it right here. And you can do all of the same things as far as making it manual or automatic. It is an automatic transmission, but sometimes you want a little more control of what you're doing. That's what that's for. You also do have an engine brake on off that you just click on off. So you're not looking away again to find which button is it. Some of these can be just absolutely covered in buttons, and I can't imagine trying to find those buttons while you're going down the road. It's just not safe. Some other things that we have here, these buttons on this side are going to be controlling what you're seeing here. So you can control a lot of things here. I'm going to go over just a few of them. So I'm going to go home. This is saying home. You can switch up your gauges, what they look like. So transmission temp, turbo boost, etc. We don't really need to go through all of them, but just knowing that you can change them about is great. Steering effort is that comfort drive steering I was telling you about. You can have your fuel economy being told to you all the time. You also have the mobile ice system on here, which is a new offering on the Country Star. So what that is, let's go into there and you can see. So headway warning distance, it's going to tell you if you're getting too close to the people in front of you. And for those of you who hate it, you can make it very far. Your intelligent high beams are here, your lane departure warning, and your speed limit indicator and alert. Again, we can tell it. I don't want that to tell me if I'm speeding because I love speeding. So, or whatever it is that you don't want to hear the beeping or have the vibrating in your seat. You can control that, but it is great to have the option of having it on there. And then we also have a diagnostic screen and vehicle settings. Diagnostics is great in case you have some kind of a alert or something going on here. You can figure out what it is with the codes that they're going to give you and see what's going on there. So anyway, really great features that they have on here, and you can change it to your personal preferences. Up here we of course have your leveling system. Now you can use a device to do this outside of your coach. So say you are very close to a tree and you don't want to level it, you could run into something. So you could actually be standing outside of the coach and see what you're doing while you level this. Very simple system to use, power, auto level, let it do its thing, and then you're level. You don't have to mess around with blocks or fighting with your spouse about, am I in the right spot or whatever. Really great system. We of course have powered and heated mirrors, and those are really great for visibility. We do have side view cameras as well, but I'll tell you that these mirrors are they're so well placed that you really don't necessarily need the cameras. So if there was ever to be a fail on those, you're going to be able to park easily just with those mirrors. They're great. Of course, your headlights, dome light. This is your battery boost button. So that would take power from your house batteries and put them into your chassis if you couldn't get started for some reason. Your chassis battery had gotten really low. So really great to get you back on the road if you were stuck in a jam. Rather than getting a jump start from a stranger, you'd be getting a jump start from your house batteries. So let's see, here is your backup camera / side view cameras. And I just hit my signal to my left-hand side, so you can see very low on the left-hand side. That I have a bay door open, so that's kind of blocking what's there, but imagine there was a puppy or a small child, you'd be able to see them because they go quite low down. And then you can have them on that back view all the time if you choose to. I did go over this. We do have Sirius XM radio capability, also navigation on this screen. So that's great that you can set it to where you're going, and it won't take you where an RV can't go. So that's helpful as well. Okay, down here we have your visor, and that is in a great space. So if you're driving and the sun is just blaring in your eyes, you're not going to have to look away to find that button. It's the first one there, and that's going to help you to be able to drive when it's super sunny, or you can do a total blackout shade as well. But these will only go down halfway when the engine is running, so that you don't get in a wreck or anything if someone accidentally pushed that button. This does go down fully when it's nighttime though, and it's time to go to bed. So just need the engine turned off for that. We do also have overhead fans on here. You can hear that going, and that basically works like a defroster. They aren't big, bulky fans on this coach. They integrated them so they look a lot cleaner. And then you have a high, medium, low for that. Right here you have a generator start button, and there are several places you can start your generator, but this is just one of them. It's nice to have them everywhere. And then you have an air horn turn on or off. And that's so, air horns are very loud, and you're in certain neighborhoods in the evening, or you're in an RV park, you don't want to disturb your neighbors. You can turn that off and make it just a little horn, and it'll just be a quieter like that. So nice thing to have. I'm going to turn that engine off, and then we have an entry door lock and unlock here. A little bit of storage and a bit of storage there. All right. So often I get asked if there is a step cover here. Every Newmar is going to have a step cover in that area. It makes a big difference as the passenger. It feels like your feet are kind of dangling or like you're going to fall when that's not there. It's also not great if you have animals running around, or if you're just not paying attention. To have that covered up is really nice. And let's see, I can show you that. It's just holding a button. So that comes out and makes into a flush floor. We also have the control here for your map light and your patio light, so I can turn those lights on here. And another great amenity for the passenger is that you have this little table. It reminds me of when you're on an airplane, but it's actually a little bit bigger and easier to use. So you've got quite a bit of space here if you are the passenger. I'm gonna try to remember to not fall down now. That'd make a fun video, wouldn't it? One other quick thing on the door is that Newmar makes this shade retractable. So if you are the passenger or even the driver, being able to see this view, on pretty much every other coach, it's going to be distorted with the screen, but they made it retractable for that very reason, so that you can have a nice, pleasurable view while you're sitting here. Above the driver's seat, we have a lot of controls here, and I'll go through those quickly for you. This is for your satellite system, also satellite system. This is your inverter. You have a 2,000 watt inverter here. Your control panel, so you can see how you're doing as far as power. Are you plugged in? Do you have enough volts, etc.? So those things are all going to be on there. Here are those slide out controls for the front two slides, not the back two slides. Those are in the bedroom. And then we have exterior step on or off, so you can lock that in or out if you the other day, for example, we had a freeze come and a lot of snow. So we locked all the steps so they couldn't go out and wouldn't get covered in ice and snow. So then we wouldn't have to go and clean them all off, and it wouldn't be a burden on the step mechanism to have a frozen ice all over them. So that was one use that we had that I hadn't thought of before. We do have security lights for the outside of the coach. And then we do have some awnings on here, and I'll put these out so we can see them once we get out. We also have awning lights, and then I'm going to do these out as well. So that one that's a little bit louder, that's actually over the entry door, and we'll be able to look at all these when we go out. This Truma AquaGo that you can see here, that's actually the tankless water heater system. So that's where you would turn it on to get it warmed up and ready to go. All right, let's see if I got this awning out. Because I don't want to be made a liar that I put it out and then I didn't. Yeah, that one I don't think went out. I can hear it. I'm not seeing it. We might have to use our imaginations. I might have run the battery down too low because I didn't want the generator going during the video because it's a little bit loud. But we can move on and we'll use our imagination. If it's out, then that'll be great. Okay. Oh, looks like it started to go out and it didn't finish. So I apologize for that. It's a balmy 2 degrees here in Frederick, Colorado, so I am going to put my coat on real quick. You can see the awning over the door has come out. That's great for when it's raining and you want to bring your groceries in, or you're going in and out in the sun and trying to load up the coach. It's going to be a great thing to have. And then we have these really stout Newmar doors. Why are they stout? Why did I have to pull on it? That's so it doesn't blow closed when it's windy outside. You do not want that to happen to your face. I've had it happen before. It didn't feel good. So we have a beautiful full body paint on this coach, as we do on every Newmar coach. They do not skimp on that. And that's going to keep that from losing its color over the time, cracking and things like that, that just sometimes you'll see on a cheaper coach, we'll just say the word. It just really takes away from the beauty of a coach when you have decals and it sits in the sun. So Newmar just doesn't go there. Over here we have the first of our bay doors, and you can see, if you look a little bit to the left, that is our star foundation, and I will let them show you from the other side. So what that is an extra support system that has been engineered to keep this from bending and twisting as you're going down the road. It is welded to the chassis rail, which is the very big black rail in the middle of the coach. We also have tons of insulation in here. It's not as obvious to see the insulation, so I'll point it out to you. We've got pretty thick doors here. We also have under the coach 2 3/4 inches. So I don't know if you can see where my hand is lying, but all of that is insulation under the coach, and it is undercoated, so we're not going to have rust and things like that. There's also a really great layer of insulation here under the floorboards. So this coach is going to stay a lot warmer in the winter and a lot cooler in the summer if you have your heating and air conditioning working. Another full pass-through storage bay here, and this is also where your vacuum is going to be located, so you can clean out that filter there. And you can actually attach the attachments down here and vacuum out this area. This bay has a water bay behind it, so Newmar thought, well, we might as well use that 5 or 6 inches of space and make it a place where you can hang tools or keep fluids rather than just not making it anything at all. So every little bit of space they're trying to help you out with. They've also lined these cargo bays with a carpet type material. And that's going to help with noise, vibration, and your things not breaking. Back here we have your chassis batteries and your chassis disconnect. And again, this is a 360 horsepower Cummins engine. We are built on a Freightliner custom chassis. I have to say, I'm a little bit of a fan of the Freightliner custom chassis. One, because they give us so much support and help and training. Another thing, I think they build a great quality product, but also they have a lot more service locations to take care of you if something does go wrong on the road. They also are very, very quick with their shipping of parts versus other brands. And I don't need to tear down any other brands. I just have to say that our experience at Transwest has been phenomenal with Freightliner. They are always there for us. They always answer the phone for us. So we love them. This is the back of that Truma AquaGo system that I told you about, the continuous or tankless hot water system. So that's what that is if you're not familiar. Then we have another bay. This bay has your 50 amp, 36 feet long cord and your transfer switch with surge protector in there. This bay has your DEF tank, and it does have a gauge so you know if you're getting low. A good rule of thumb is about every third time you need to fill up, you're going to need to fill up your DEF tank. You don't fill it up every time you go to the gas station. It is a good idea to maybe keep an extra bottle of it with you, just in case. And then this little pocket right here is to store your black hose. So we all know our black hose gets really icky. I don't like the idea of it rolling around with the rest of my stuff in my water bay, like my clean water hose or my water filter. So I love that Newmar does make an extra little compartment for that, just for sanitary reasons. Over here, this is your water bay. So we do have a whole house water filter and an outdoor shower here as well. They also make it really easy to understand how to winterize and dewinterize, etc., or to drain your water, etc. They're really well marked, and also they're etched into this stainless steel, so they're not going to fade over time. So even if you were to trade this coach in or get rid of it later, the next customer is still going to have great customer service from Newmar because they took the extra step. Over here we just have the back side of those pass-through storage bays. And we do have 2 extra batteries on here because of the residential refrigerator upgrades. So we have 6 of these deep cycle batteries here. We also have an 8,000 kilowatt Cummins Onan diesel generator, and that pulls directly from your diesel fuel tank. So if you have any questions about this coach, I'm more than happy to answer them. I can send you the build sheet for what options that we did include on this coach. Thank you for watching. My name is Teresa, and I hope to hear from you soon.